Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Split Decision. You're joined by me, Taku, and obviously my co-host,
Whichever side it is,
Tom.
it's a
Whatever
random
side
side
it
every
is,
time.
Tom. And today we're joined by a very special guest. We're joined by Daniel Grida from the Illawarra Hawks. Welcome to the Split Decision.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for coming on. And obviously, before we get into it, we've got to shout out our sponsors, Kremlin and MHGNY. Kremlin, they've announced some new deals, some hoodie mask deals, some t-shirt mask deals, and some jogger mask deals. So make sure you guys go check that out. Use Taku 10, Tom 10, or Peter 10.
Peter 10.
But
Peter
don't
10,
use Peter 10, but he just made me
don't use Peter 10.
And check out for 10% off. And finally, make sure you're just checking out all the links in the description. The Instagram, we've got 100 followers, so we'll be doing that giveaway very soon. And just check out, the YouTube channel and the Reddit that we never use. But
yeah, we never use it, but it's there.
Without further ado, let's get straight into it. And Daniel, our first question for you is, do you remember how old you were when you started playing basketball and sort of that first memory playing it?
I think I was about like 7 years old. I started in under nines. So I was like, 7. I just started playing with my cousin because our parents didn't want us to play like AFL. They thought we'd get hurt. So we ended up playing basketball, which turned out to be a pretty good option in the end, and just loved it from the start and just played ever since. Yeah.
Were there any other sports that you tried as a kid besides basketball?
Well, like I wanted to play footy because that's what everyone was doing, but I wasn't able to do that. But I got really into table tennis for a little bit, believe it or not. Like I was super into it. Love table tennis, but like that's about it. Like nothing else really.
Same schools. I was in the school table tennis team.
That was it.
Slicing.
Playing at school a heap.
Who, you?
Yeah, I was in school table tennis for like 2 years. Before basketball. This was before your time at school.
Before my time.
This is pre-Taku. This is the good days.
Why do you even do a podcast? When you were a kid, did you ever hit this realization as like, this is basketball is what I want to do as a career, as a job sort of thing?
Yeah, around like probably when I was like 12 or 13, we got like a what's it called, like a set-top box which had like some more TV channels, and like that's like the first time I could start watching like the NBA, and I was just hooked ever since then, and just like really wanted to like do it at the highest level, like I really wanted to just play in front of heaps of people. Like that's what I really thought about doing when I was younger. I was like, I want to play it like in packed stadiums and stuff. And I used to go to the Wildcats every weekend as a kid, and obviously it's packed there, and they're a crazy fan base, so that really like fueled me I was just like, I just want to play in big arenas and stuff. So around 12, 13 is kind of when I decided I really wanted to go for it.
So you said you started watching like basketball as a young kid. Were there any like basketball idols you had growing up that you looked up to or tried to model your game after?
Kobe. Kobe's my guy. Like I've loved Kobe since the beginning. So I've watched every single highlight video of him on YouTube. Like had all his shoes, like still do. He's my like all-time favorite player.
Daniel knows what's up. Kobe's a legend on this podcast,
I'm telling you.
The jersey's in the background, isn't it?
Kobe, right.
Is it in the background still?
Right there.
The high school jersey.
Always.
Yeah.
Kobe doesn't get respected enough. Finally.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Finally, someone respects Kobe. This guy right here disrespects Kobe. Disgusting.
Really?
That's blasphemy. That is absolute blasphemy if I've ever seen it.
So, anyway. Other than basketball in general, were there any other people or athletes that you looked up to, or like, yeah?
Man, I don't know. No, I couldn't tell you. This is like, it's still related to basketball. Like, there used to be a YouTube channel. They broke up a little bit now, but like they're called Kick Genius. And I used to like, they were two basketball players, and like, I was really like, they were like role models for me. Like I love them. And they just review shoes, and I don't know, I was hooked on that too, but not really any other like famous guys that I really looked up to that much. Like, yeah.
Right. So we'll move like onto your teenage and like collegiate career. You started your youth career when you were at Lakeside Lightning. What do you remember from like those days there?
That was like my rep team over there. So over in WA, it's called Wobble, which is rep. It's like the West Australian Basketball League. So it starts in under 12s and ends at like under 20s, and then you go play in the state league, which is the SBL, which hopefully will turn into NBL1 soon. But yeah, I just remember playing like under 12s. Used to go to the carnivals and play all the different teams like in your state, and for me, like that was just the coolest weekends ever. Like it was like once a month you'd go play 3 games on a Saturday or something with like your boys. It was the best thing ever, and it was kind of like my introduction to like more serious basketball, like running plays, doing different, like doing scouts and stuff. That's kind of where it started there. And like Lakeside is like that place is like my favorite place ever. Like they really look after me and stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of that sort of story. Yeah.
So following that, you also got a scholarship to the Center of Excellence.
Mm-hmm.
So what did it mean like when you first got that call up saying that you could go and sort of go there?
Yeah, that was the best thing ever. Like it was awesome. I was pretty old when I got the scholarship. I was late 18. I was about to turn 19 when I got it, and most guys go in there super young, you know. So I didn't really think I was kind of past the point of thinking I was going to get a scholarship. I thought I was too old. So when I got one, it was just the coolest thing ever. And the AIS was the best experience ever for me. Like it changed me completely, like into like such a better player. Like they like transform my body. Like you lift constantly. Like nutrition's looked after. Like everything is there for you. You got court access 24/7, which is awesome. You can work out whenever you want. Team practice is great. Like you got the best kids in the country there that you're practicing against every night. And then obviously we got to play Siebel. It was Siebel back then on the weekends, which was awesome as well. You get to like fly in planes and play basketball, which is like kind of the start of like being a pro. Like you get to fly around in planes and stuff. So that was awesome too. But yeah, that was an awesome experience at AIS.
Yeah, I feel like everyone we talk to, whenever we talk about that, if they've been to the AIS, it's always like a different experience for them, where like they feel like they've just made like a first step into like their professional career, kind of.
Yeah,
and it's always just like, yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, like when Capes offered me the spot, I was like, yeah, I'll really be able to play pro after this. Like, because before that, it's a bit iffy whether I was gonna, like, it's a lot of like, it's tough when you're trying to play professionally. You don't really have, like, cause I didn't go to college. I was just at home, like working out every day, trying to get looks in from the Wildcats and various teams like that. But so going to the AIS is huge.
Yeah. So moving on to now your international career. So you suited up for the Australian Boomers for the first time early last year. What was it like getting the call up to represent Australia for you?
Yeah, I actually got called up before that. It was right. After my first year with the Hawks, I went to Kazakhstan and Iran. So that was the first time. It was in the final window for the World Cup. So a lot of guys weren't available. So they took a few of us young boys. I was lucky enough to be one of them. And that was awesome too. The whole time I was at the AIS, I hadn't represented Australia yet. And everyone else there kind of had. So it was a big thing that I really wanted to do. And putting on like the green and gold is just the best feeling ever. Like you watch guys when you're younger, and to finally be able to do it was awesome. And I got to do it in Iran. So that's a bit of a weird place to go. And then Kazakhstan. But yeah, that like trip I barely played, but it was just the coolest thing ever. Like wouldn't trade it for the world. And then as you said earlier last year, I got another call up, which was in Brisbane. So it was a bit more of a familiar place. Yeah. And I got to play a few more minutes there and have a bit more of an impact. So that was heaps of fun too.
So from both of those experiences, were you able to like take anything away, learn from like some of the other more like seasoned guys that had played a lot of international basketball?
Yeah, like those guys like Sobey, Mitch Creek, Cam Glidden, like they've all been there a heap of times and done it before. And they like they're just so professional. Like they're always in the pool recovering, always doing little like maintenance lifts, stretching. Like they're making sure their bodies are right for the games, which I really took a lot away from, especially like hurting myself now. Like that's a big thing I'm trying to focus on now, is like recovery and looking after my body a bit more. So yeah.
So now we'll move to your professional career.
Mm-hmm.
So you joined the Illawarra Hawks in 2018. Was there any like specific reasoning behind signing for them?
I had quite a few looks from different teams, but they were all development spots. They were going to be development spots with contracted year after, but the Hawks was the first team that was going to give me like a contract spot straight out of the gate. So I knew Bevo pretty well because he was in WA for a long time. So it was a no-brainer for me. I'm a good mates with Angus Glover too. So he was here as a DP back then, recovering from a knee injury. And I talked to him a heap and I was like, yeah, like I'm going to come here for sure. So, and it turned out to be a great decision because I got to play a heap my first year, which is great.
Yeah.
So going back to that first year, like your first professional game, like especially for like watching basketball growing up, watching the NBL was always a dream. What was it like sort of stepping on the court for the first time and playing your first like minutes in the NBL?
Yeah, it was insane. Like I couldn't feel my legs. Like it was, I was pretty nervous. But it ended up being a really cool game. We went to quadruple overtime against the United. We went to quadruple overtime against United, and that was like the first game like that's happened in however many years. I'm not sure, but it was crazy. And it was like in the fourth overtime, we had guys fouled out, and I was like, man, they might put me in. And I was sweating, but it was really cool. It was an awesome experience.
They might put me in. Damn, that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, legit.
And you're cold as well, so then you have to like come in when everyone else is just like going. You have to just sort of like produce as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
because I played in the very start of the fourth. I was like my last minutes I played in that game. So by the time it was fourth overtime, like it'd been like almost like 90 minutes since I'd been on the court. Like it was the longest game ever, and I was like, man, like I'm freezing. Like it was terrible, but yeah.
Right. So coming into the league, was there anyone that like took you under their wing that really like gave you the push into where you are today, or like to push you to become like a better version of yourself?
Yeah, there's heaps of guys that have helped me out a lot. One is, his name's Liam Rush. He used to play in the NBL back in the day, not too long ago, like in the early 2000s. He played for Wildcats, played for Melbourne Tigers back then, and he's a Lakeside kid as well. He grew up same place as me, and he's always on the phone to me, giving me tips, telling me heaps of stories and stuff about the NBL back then. It sounded awesome. So he's a big one. Who else? Toddy Blanchfield, he's been massive for me as well. Helps me because we kind of play the same position. He really like taught me a lot of little tips and tricks in these first 2 years. So he's off to the Wildcats now. So good luck to him. But yeah, there's too many guys to name. Like everyone really, it's like everyone here has really looked after the young boys, because I guess we've had a lot of young guys come through here. So it's been really good.
I always wanted to ask this. I know, like, you hear from the NBA how they have like hazing and stuff like that, and like rookie duties. Did you have to go through that in the NBL?
A little bit. Not too bad. Not as much as like you hear about in other places. Like, we had to carry all the bags and stuff. Like if there was anything that had to be done, like extra, me and Emmett had to do it in our first year. We did it. We went on a trip to Malaysia for pre-season, and there was a big ball at the end. So everyone was sitting on their seats, like sitting at their tables. We're having dinner, and there's like a live band playing at the top. And they did make me do this. This is terrible. They made me go and find any like lady. They made me find like any chick, any like Malaysian lady. I had to take her up onto the stage and dance with her. in front of like 500 people, and they just
Oh
wanted me
no.
to do it, and I had to do it, and it was hilarious. Everyone loved it. So that was probably the worst thing I had to do, but we got over it. We got it done. So
we move. It's a big dub in our books.
Yeah,
Big win.
absolutely.
Big win.
Oh man.
So, I mean, obviously your rookie season, everyone's like supporting you as well. Did you have what was your favorite memory from that rookie season?
The rookie season was a lot of fun. We were a bit of like an underdog team, and we kind of played. We were pretty good my rookie season. We ended up missing the playoffs. We had to win like 4 straight to make it at the end, and we won our first one, lost the second one in overtime, and that kind of was the end of the season. But it was a fun year. Like we got a lot of, me and Emmett were the rookies then, and we got a lot of playing time. Bevo really backed us and threw us in the deep end, and I guess the best, like we beat every team at least once. And so I think beating the Wildcats at home was my favorite memory from that year. We had like my brother and my best mate came to town and watched the game. And we beat the Wildcats by like maybe 5 or 6 points. And that was massive for me. Like, always watching those guys. So that was probably my favorite memory.
Right.
You also play for the Nelson Giants in the New Zealand NBL. What are you able to sort of gain from playing over there and playing in New Zealand?
Yeah, playing in New Zealand was awesome. It's as an Australian, like I'm an import over there, and so every team over there gets 3 imports, and they get a lot of Australians go over there in the off season. So the imports in my team was me, Reese Vague, who was on the Wildcats, and then Jordan Jet, who played with me my first year here. And so we had a pretty good set of imports. It was really cool with Reese too. He's one of my best mates, and like we're from the same area in Perth, so we knew each other growing up. So it was really cool to kind of go over there with 2 guys I knew, with Jordan and Reese. And then we also had Tyrell Harrelson from the Bullets, and we had Mika Vicona. So he was a really good leader, and like great glue guy. So that was fun going over there. I got to play a heap and shoot the ball a lot, which was fun. But it was cool seeing New Zealand, like just getting to see the country, live there for 3 or 4 months. Gives me a chance to work on a heap of stuff that I probably didn't get the chance to work on in the NBL season. I had the ball in my hands a lot more. So yeah, it was awesome. And I really want to go back there again next off season. So
yeah, New Zealand's a really nice place. I haven't been there
beautiful.
specifically, but like I've always wanted to go there. I've heard it's good fishing over there. Massive fisherman. So
Really?
always wanted to travel there. Yeah. I love it.
I didn't go fishing, but yeah.
Look, it's just one of those things. You gotta try it.
You said, and I quote, "Yo, New Zealand's a real nice place. I've never been there though." Like,
no, because I've had my dad and mum have gone there, and they showed me photos. Like, oh wow, nice mountain ranges. That's really cool.
It is sick.
Hold on, let him regain
you're
consciousness.
a clown, bro. You're a clown.
Honestly, give me a spell. Give me a spell here. Come on.
That was.
Should we move on?
Go.
So, I mean, unfortunately, last guys, as you finished 6th, which was 2 spots out of the playoffs. What do you think you'll need to take to elevate to that like next level for you guys to hopefully make the playoffs
This year?
Yeah.
Like year. in the NBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think like our roster's completely different this year. We, like me, Emmett, and Sam right now are the only guys staying from last year's team. So I don't know. We'll see how this team goes. We got Gorgon, who's obviously like one of the like best coaches of all time. So I think we'll definitely make the playoffs. Just with the coach alone, and then we've got a huge array of talent. Like we got Ding Adele, coming over. Who else? Tyler Harvey. He looks really good. The import. And then we got like some old guys like Bairstow. We've got an array of different talents. So I think we'll make a real push. And depending like what happens with the season, whenever it starts, who knows what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I think we'll be good.
So
The restart. Who knows?
you sort of mentioned about early last year you went through was it an Achilles or ACL injury?
I my ACL, yeah.
Okay, ACL. Sorry. What was it like, sort of like going through that initially?
Yeah, it sucked. It was just before the lockdown, the COVID lockdown. So I was it was good, but because I got surgery like 3 days after, because they pushed me ahead because I was gonna shut the hospital. So it was good I got surgery real quick and could start like rehabbing. But it sucks, you know, you can't like not being able to walk without crutches is the worst thing. So, like once those like 3 weeks are up and I could kind of walk myself, it got a bit easier. I could kind of just shoot free throws and stuff like that. But yeah, it was tough going in, like doing that injury, becoming like a free agent, because I didn't really have a team to go back to at the point in time. So that was playing with my head a bit, but it was good. We got a contract signed and yeah, so 2 years, which is nice. So I can kind of focus on rehabbing this year, and then if I play, I play. If I don't, it's all good. And then year 2, hopefully, come back and make an impact.
Yeah. So that rehab, like, how was that process of the rehab, like your mental state kind of going through that bit?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because it was through the lockdown, so no one was playing basketball anyway. So didn't really feel like I was missing out on too much. Yeah, so I just sat on the couch for however long and watched basketball videos and played video games, and everyone else was doing the exact same thing. So it was good. And now I'm back. Like I can shoot. I'm back to like shooting jumpers. Can do basically everything but like run. So it's a lot easier to deal with once you can start like shooting again, because you really miss it, I guess.
Right.
Also, do you have any advice for like someone that could potentially be going like a similar injury?
Yeah, just focus on what you can do and like do it to the best of your ability. But then again, like you gotta rest and make sure you're right before you do anything else, because the last thing you want to do is do it again. So just do what you can do, but then when you have to chill out, just relax, you know. But yeah, that's about it.
Right. So you re-signed for the Hawks, as you just mentioned. Was there any like decision behind re-signing there?
Yeah, it was just a huge thing for me. Was Gorge coming on board, and everything, like he called me and everything he said was just perfect. They got a really good strength and conditioning guy coming in, Adam. He's worked with a heap of big time soccer clubs, and I had a few conversations with him, and he's really keen to get going and reckons and he will like work really well with my knee. So yeah, and they just said like there's no rush for me to play. If I don't feel comfortable, they're not going to push me to play. They're not going to do anything like that. And obviously, like I love Illawarra. I've been here for the last 2 years. I'm comfortable here. I feel like it's the best place for me to improve as a player. So yeah, super keen. I've been with our assistant Jacob Jackamus. He's been awesome at working me out every day, and he's like got a really good work ethic as well. So it's been a perfect fit so far.
So you said like last season you had Aaron Brooks on the team and also LaMelo Ball. What was it? Sorry, were you able to take anything from like 2 high level talents like those two?
Yeah, for sure. Like Aaron Brooks is insane. Like Aaron Brooks is so much better than I ever thought he was going to be. Like he just doesn't miss. Like he's so good and he's lightning quick. Like such a shame he did his Achilles, because I think he could have really blown up last season. So yeah, he was great. He was always working out with us young boys. Like always wanted to do extra stuff with us, and like just a real fun guy to be around too. Like he was hilarious. So and then LaMelo like just has the best handles I've ever seen. Like his change of pace is crazy. That's the biggest thing I took from him. I think like he just like his hezzies are insane. Like they just freeze you, and like you see it on TV and on YouTube, and you're like, man, I could have stayed in front of that, but you really can't. Like he's just so good. Like yeah, and his vision's insane as well, and he's real athletic. was just trying to dunk on everyone at practice. There was one time someone threw it up to him, and he caught it, and I did a 360 and just didn't quite get it, but it just went off the back rim and was huge. Like everyone just stopped. Like it was nuts. So yeah, those two. It was awesome to play with those guys.
Right.
You know what's crazy? Aaron Brooks, former Minnesota Timberwolves player, LaMelo Ball, future Minnesota Timberwolves
get off
player.
it.
You reckon he's gonna go to Minnesota?
I mean, he said
Timberwolves. We were projected the number 2 pick, and Anthony Edwards is projected number 1. So LaMelo Ball, D'Angelo Russell. I'm just saying.
You're a Timberwolves fan, Taku.
Yeah. You know, I'm just saying quietly.
It's disgusting. He's a Timberwolves fan.
Fair enough.
Wait, big 3: Cat, D'Lo, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, talk to me when you're in the playoffs, champion.
Relax,
you said automatic. You said he could shoot and he was quick, and I was like, oh, it's Taku, and then I realized you were talking about someone else. I was like, damn, it's a shame. Kid Taku's automatic from the 3-point line. He's got this lethal. He's got this lethal skyhook as well.
Oh, my skyhook! My skyhook is actually pretty.
His skyhook is lethal.
My skyhook game is actually pretty strong.
I'm more of a free throw shooter.
Oh my god! I knew you were gonna say that.
Anyway. So, for our listeners who haven't watched you play basketball before, how would you describe your game to them?
I think I play with a lot of energy. I like to run. I like to get out on the open floor. Like to catch and shoot threes. I love just spotting up and running. That's basically what I do, and I try to defend as well as I can, and just bring as much energy as possible. So yeah, that's basically it.
And you're still really young. So do you have do you have any goals that you sort of picked out that you want to complete before you can finish your career?
Yeah, the Olympics is huge for me. I want to play in the Olympics. That's the ultimate dream of mine, to do that. So that's definitely a goal. And then obviously win an NBL championship. I want to be one of the best Aussies in the game, at any current point in time. I can get a European passport because I'm half Italian. So going and kind of exploring Europe would be cool if I get the opportunity to do that. But yeah.
Big win if you ask me. All right, so now we'll move on to the questions that our followers and we have other people ask us to ask you, right? And the first question, a very important one to both of us. It's got a deep sentimental value to us. So
yeah,
who is your NBA GOAT?
GOAT?
The GOAT. Who is the GOAT?
Kobe.
Kobe.
Sure.
Yeah, we can accept that. Love Kobe. We can accept that.
There's obviously everyone I don't know. To me, he's the GOAT. I don't care what everyone else thinks. To me, he's the GOAT. Yeah, bring up the jersey.
So you have to get the jersey.
Too bad the cameras, but you have to represent.
Yeah, that's a fact. I love it. Oh, that's awesome.
That's the only. That's the only it's the only midway point that Taku and I agree on, because he's heavy Jordan, I'm heavy LeBron. Yeah. So we're just Kobe. Okay. Kobe's midway, we can accept that.
Midpoint, perfect.
Kobe's the disrespect I see on the daily. People say he's not even top 10. I'm just
for people that don't put him in their top 10, it's disgusting. Just disgusting. I saw someone put Giannis in their top 10 over him, and I was like, oh, bro, what's going on?
Giannis isn't top 10 yet.
Not yet. He's gonna win a chip.
I mean, you're speaking to someone that put Allen Iverson in his top 10.
Look, no, but my top 3 was I think it was LeBron, Kobe, Jordan in that order.
Yeah.
So
was it that order?
I think it was in that order. I can't remember.
Alright.
I don't know.
Good thing Dimos is here. Dimos be speaking.
Good thing Dimos. we have a friend that's heavy LeBron King type.
And then hates on Kobe. Hates on Kobe.
Really? Well, LeBron, if he keeps playing however many more years, he really could go crazy,
I think this year, if they can win it, I've got LeBron 3 at the moment. If they can win it this year, it'll be
it'll climb.
It'll be tough not to argue that he's top 2. So
yeah, fair enough.
The real question is, are you getting the NBA 2K Mamba Forever Edition? That's the real question everyone wants to know.
Oh man, yeah.
It
looks good, doesn't it?
It looks so good. The cover photo looks amazing on it.
Looks sick.
Taku,
my head is like 2K. I'm
year.
like, I'm not getting 2K, and then they like code. I'm like, you got to.
It's like, I hate 2K. Oh well, they've got Mamba on it. I have to get it now.
I have to give them my money now. Like, just take it. So our next question is, fans only sort of see the games and the practices, but what would you say is like one thing that professional athletes sort of go through and do that the fans wouldn't necessarily know about?
Just like I guess it's like the everyday grind of like either in a season or an off season, like it can really like get you after a bit, like doing the same thing every day. And it's like not just doing the same thing every day, it's like doing the same thing every day, like as hard as you can. And it's like the best of your ability, like it can really like catch up with you, So yeah, like I guess the fans just see like the finished product, but there's a lot of like hours that go into that, whether like you're on a good team or a bad team, like everyone, especially in the NBL, works super hard in their like at practice, in their individual workouts, in the gym too, like conditioning, like all that. It's like tough on your body. That's why I guess recovery is so important as well. But yeah, I guess the fans wouldn't see much of that. We had a lot of last year we had a really good video. We had like some episodes for the Hawks where the fans got to see behind the scenes a bit more, but yeah, there's a lot they don't see as well.
Right. So you also wear the number 11. Is there any specific reason to that number?
Nah, it's just my favorite. It's my favorite number. Growing up, it's always just been my favorite. My older cousin who used to play, he used to wear it, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna wear that number. And stuck with it ever since. I like number 21 as well, but Toddy had it when I got here, so I was like, yeah, I'll stick with 11.
Fair enough.
You look like you're gonna say something like that.
No, I was going to. Yeah, I was going to, and I refrained myself. I was like, okay, don't say something stupid. I was going to say something so dumb. I was like, all right,
yeah.
No, too common.
Too common.
No, as in my stupidity, not the number.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any specific pre-game routine or superstition? Do you have like superstitions that you have to sort of do before every game, before practice or anything?
Not really. I used to do it a lot. Like I used to have all that stuff, but then I just figured like should probably like try and not have them, because then one day if you can't do it, like you're gonna be screwed. So I always nap game day. I used to eat lollies on game day as well, but I don't do it anymore because I was eating too many.
The nap is vital.
The nap is huge. Yeah,
the nap is vital. Don't sleep on sleep.
Don't sleep on sleep.
That's a good little slogan there. Don't sleep on sleep.
It's our slogan over here, man. We don't sleep on sleep here.
That's awesome. But yeah, I nap game day, wake up, and I always watch an episode of anime, like depending what I'm watching at the time. Always watch an episode of anime.
Which episode? What are you watching right now?
My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, legendary.
I'm nearly up to date, but not quite. Got to put a few more hours into that. But
slow grind.
Exactly. Really, some really are like the slow, like the long, like 300 episode ones. But
yeah.
But yeah, I love
Naruto, One Piece. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, crazy.
Seriously,
One Piece is crazy.
It's like 800 episodes.
Insane. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'll get there eventually. But yeah, that's probably my pre-game ritual. Always coffee as well. Always coffee on the way to the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Big dub. Right. So, like, when you're not playing basketball, as we spoke about, like you said, what else are you doing?
I try play video games. I'm not good, but I try play. I enjoy it. Like I enjoy video games. Anime, love anime. Watch a heap of anime. The beach. love the beach. That's like the beaches are so sick in Wollongong here, so that's a big plus for playing here as well. So close to the beach too. But man,
Look, we appreciate the honesty. It doesn't matter if you play video games; you don't have to be the best at them. You know, as long as you know,
Yeah, well, I'm not-
as
I'm
long
not
as you know
good.
you're not good, it's fine. Same here, though.
I've got one win on Warzone on COD, so
That's one more than me.
I'm
Damn.
loving that. Yeah, it's
God
hard,
damn.
man. It's hard.
I
It's a
gave
hard
up.
game.
I tapped out. I tapped out.
I should probably, but
Uh,
but yeah, that's it.
But I
Hang out
mean,
with mates.
four guys, you know, we're four guys, you know.
Fall Guys is where it's at right now.
We got a squad, yeah.
I'm a
Fire out.
three-time champ. Baby. Let's go,
Love
Fall
it.
Guys.
Four guys starts over there.
OP.
And-
Fall.
And our last question for you is do you have, you know, you're sort of living the dream everyone, well, I think every kid sort of wishes, you know, play professional sport. So do you have any advice for like a young kid out there who's looking to go pro in basketball or sort of any sport in the future?
Yeah, I think just keep going as hard as you can, and like good things happen to guys that work hard. You know, like if you don't know where you're gonna be, just keep working hard. And like if you're another big thing is like if you're good, like people will find you. Like you don't have to plaster it everywhere on social media. You know, you don't have to do that. But if you're good, guys will find you out and give you a shot. You know, so just keep your head down, keep working hard, and focus on yourself, I guess.
Beat on your craft. That's a great way
That's
to end it.
Absolutely.
That is some amazing advice. And with that, that is what do I say? Oh yeah, so yeah, I can't
What
forget
do you
what I
say?
do. I never forget. Thank you
You
guys so
never
much.
forget or you always forget. Make up your mind.
I don't know. Anyway,
Don't
thank
sleep
you
on
guys
sleep.
so much for tuning in to the episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
5 stars.
Leave 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That does absolute bits. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Tuesday, hey? Peace.
Peace.